How to get the most out of a viewing. A seller's guide. Hello and welcome to Videojug. Selling a property can be a very stressful and lengthy process, and everyone wants it to go as smoothly and quickly as possible. Here at Videojug, we have the answers. Our three property experts, estate agent Ed Mead, property developer Tina Jessen, and private sales guru Anthea Masey have all the top tips to help you get the most out of a viewing. Step 1. Preparing to show a buyer around your home. If you're selling your house, it's very important to present it in the best possible way. Here are some top tips on what to do to your property before a viewing.
You need to arrive at the property a good 10 minutes before your viewing. You don't want to have your viewer sitting in the car waiting for you to turn up. The doors need to be unlocked. Certainly the back door needs to be unlocked so that they've got full access throughout the property. And even opening some windows to get rid of that stuffy feeling that you get when you're going into a house that's been closed up for a while, or that smell of freshly dried paint. So getting some fresh air in there is really important. You also need to go through and switch the lights on. Now, if you think about it, new show homes have all the lights on all the time, and it really does mean that you're presenting the property to its best effect, just for the sake of putting a light bulb into the light fittings and switching the lights on before people arrive. But it must be done beforehand. It's no good them thinking that the house is looking too dark if they notice you switching those lights on, so it has to be done beforehand. So make sure you get there a good 10 minutes before to do all of those things.
If you're lucky enough to be the sort of person who's in your property when it's going to be shown, then you can do all sorts of things to make it really appealing when someone walks in. There are the traditional things like, getting the right smells in the place, coffee and baking bread. Now, believe it or not, these days you can actually buy things which you can spray in your house which smell like that. But they really do work. People like a welcoming smell, and actually, I've forgotten what the figures are. It's something like 30% of people will base their decision on what something smells like. So it's a terribly important thing to get right. Otherwise, make sure it's well aired and walk around checking there's nothing lying around on the floor. If you've got kids, make sure they haven't got underpants lying on the floor in their rooms.
However, it's not always about baking bread and brewing coffee. Sometimes preparing your property for sale is as easy as simply having a bit of a clear out.
I would say that 90% of the time, all you need to do to sell your property is to declutter it. Make sure people can walk around comfortably and they're not tripping up over toys or unnecessary bits and pieces.
Step 2. Conducting a viewing. When you've got the buyer in your home, make sure you enhance the house's best features.
If you want to show your property's best features, and you will know what your property's best features are, when you instruct your estate agent, get all of their people around, all of their salespeople, and show them exactly what those best features are. So that when someone comes into the property, if its best feature is the view of the garden, they can lead you straight to that view. If you've got a fantastic fireplace, they can lead them straight there. Sometimes when you get to the end of a viewing, people will want to sit down and talk about it. If you've got a fabulous kitchen with a nice view, make sure that the salespeople will sit them down in the garden. So show your salespeople where the best features are.
Step 3. Second viewings. The buyer is bound to want to come and see the property more than once. As a seller, you should not limit the amount of times a buyer can come and see the property.
You should let a buyer look round a property as many times as they want to, really. I think very few buyers would make an offer on a property unless they had seen it at least twice. But some buyers will want to show it to maybe a mother or a sister before they finally make an offer. So a third or even a fourth viewing might be necessary.
However, don't let the buyer come round with too many people in tow, as they could sow seeds of doubt in the buyer's mind.
My experience is that after 2 or 3 viewings, that's more than enough. And so long as the people who are actually investing in the property have seen it, I think it's a bad idea when buyers start asking to bring friends and things around. I mean, they like to have an impact on your decision. And if you like the place, the chances are they're going to say the opposite just to try and have an impact on your own decision to buy the place. So I would attempt, if you can, to try and stop people bringing their friends around to have a look.